Hi, I'm Beardmohbox. This is the series where I predict this year's rookie ratings covering 4 players per team, and this week we're looking at the AFC West. As always, we'll go in order of division standings, and that means we begin with the Super Bowl 50 champions, the Denver Broncos. Round 1, Paxton Lynch, quarterback Memphis. Lynch was drafted as a developmental quarterback, but what he needs to develop isn't to do with his physical ability, and that will help him in Madden. He needs to develop his decision making and learn to play in a pro-style system, 2 things that don't affect how he plays in Madden, because 1, you the guy playing Madden make the decisions, and 2, there is no rating for a 5-step drop or learning complex plays. I do think they will rate the first 3 quarterbacks in order, and although I haven't covered the other 2 yet, I know what I expect them to get, and Lynch I see at 74. Round 2, Adam Gotsis, defensive tackle, Georgia Tech. This pick could be seen as a reach as he was projected to go a couple of rounds later, but that was also largely due to a season-ending knee injury he sustained in October. He is Australian and we love to support the foreign guys, but I can't see him getting any higher than a 70, mainly because right now he's only a factor in the run game. Round 3, Justin Simmons, free safety, Boston College. Simmons is a free safety, but half of his starts in 2014 came at cornerback, so we know he's versatile. However, he's a later round pick who will be a backup and has more potential as a special teamer than a starter right now, so I would guess he gets around a 68. Round 4, Devontae Booker, running back, Utah. This has the potential to be one of the best picks of the draft. Booker was ranked by Mike Mayock as the 2nd overall running back available. In terms of size and athleticism, he is more average when compared to Elliott and Henry, but he's a perfectly rounded every down back. A torn meniscus is likely what saw him go this late, but if healthy he can make a lot of teams sorry they passed on him. I think 71-72 would be fair for him. Alright, on to the Kansas City Chiefs, round 2, Chris Jones, defensive tackle, Mississippi State. Jones has plenty of potential and with the right coaching can reach it. Luckily for the Chiefs, they can take their time with him as he plays backup to Dontari Poe and Jay Howard. I see him entering the league at something like 73. Round 3, Keivarae Russell, defensive back, Notre Dame. I refer to him as a defensive back because he played corner in college, but it was apparently evaluated by some teams as a safety. The Chiefs don't help by having everyone listed as a defensive back on their website, but safety was a bigger need than corner for them, so it'll be interesting to see where he ends up playing. I think he'd be rated better as a corner, and there I see him right around 70. Round 4, Parker Ehinger, offensive guard, Cincinnati. He started 3 years at tackle, but there are worries about his athleticism and pass protection, so he'll likely slide inside. Inside, there are worries about his functional strength, so right now he's a bit of a mystery. Even with that, and knowing how they tend to rate linemen, I don't see him below 70. Round 5, Eric Murray, cornerback, Minnesota. This pick makes me think they might try Russell at safety. Murray and Russell are pretty much identical in size. If Russell plays safety, Murray should get plenty of snaps in the slot. As a 5th rounder, I guess he'd be around a 67-68. Now the Oakland Raiders, round 1, Karl Joseph, safety, West Virginia. With Nate Allen not quite working out due to injury, there's a good chance Joseph starts from day 1. With his size, play speed and tenacity, the Raiders might look to utilize Joseph like the Cardinals used the Honey Badger. As a mid-first rounder with plenty of ability, Joseph should be around 77. Round 2, Jihad Ward, defensive end, Illinois. This is a potential laden pick. Ward is a wide receiver safety convert to the position, so right now the sky's the limit as he continues to learn the ins and outs of playing defensive end. Don't expect too much in year 1 though, and that's why his rating will be quite low. There's no stats for potential, so Ward, despite going in the 2nd round, might find himself at best in the high 60s. Round 3, Shilique Calhoun, defensive end, Michigan State. Most of the criticism Calhoun got was that he might not be able to be much more than a solid starter in the NFL. Luckily for the Raiders, they don't even need that from him. With a stacked defensive line, the Raiders can concentrate on getting the most out of Calhoun's potential over time, rather than forcing him into a starting position from week 1. I think he'll be rated higher than Ward, right around 70. Round 4, Connor Cook, quarterback, Michigan State. This was the guy that all those quarterback-needy teams like the Jets were supposed to target after the first 3 quarterbacks went in the 1st round. Instead, the rich got richer. A ballsy move from a young and improving team, the Raiders snagged themselves some future trade value in Cook. Guys like Garoppolo and McCarron were never expected to win the starting job, and at worst are worth 2nd round picks when teams come knocking, which they will. Cook should have a pretty decent rating too, maybe 70 to 72. The final team this week, the San Diego Chargers. Round 1, Joey Bosa, defensive end, Ohio State. And I'll be honest, my first thought, and I'm pretty sure plenty of other people's too, was that this was a mismatch in terms of the system. Then you consider what JJ Watt is doing at defensive end in a 3-4 scheme, and the fact that apparently Bosa would do a good job standing up at outside linebacker, and Watt came out with an 80 rating. But I think Madden standards have changed a bit since then, and I think Bosa gets an 80 rating too, but I'm not putting him in Watt's category. Round 2, Hunter Henry, tight end, Arkansas. I feel like this guy just has the right name to succeed as a tight end in the NFL. On top of that, he's valuable in both phases of the offense, blocking very well. Given time to learn from Antonio Gates, Henry's future is bright. I see him coming in at 76, maybe even higher. Round 3, Max Tuerk, center, USC. He's played all over the line, and that holds a lot of value to the Chargers, who if nothing else need depth all over the line. Potentially he could win the starting job from 30-year-old Matt Slauson, who was brought in free agency after being released by the Bears after a 16-start season. With his athleticism and versatility, I see him at 72. The final guy this week, round 4, Joshua Perry, inside linebacker, Ohio State. Adding depth to a decent-looking group, Perry has the chance to earn his keep in rotation. He fits the Chargers scheme well as they run a 3-4, so he can get away with playing a dedicated thumper role. I'd put him down at an even 70. So that's it for the AFC West and the AFC altogether. Next week we'll finally get to the NFC, starting in the North and working our way through clockwise. I'm pretty pumped as there's some very good looking draft classes in the NFC. Hey, welcome to my end slate, a great place to watch another video or subscribe. Clicking on the video will send you to the previous video. Revolutionary, am I right? And clicking on my face lets you subscribe. I wonder how I came up with such a flawless system. Self-promotion aside, I do hope you enjoyed this video.